States is providing Ukraine with $250 million worth of weapons, supplies, and equipment, the Defense Department said in a statement.
Like previous packages, this one falls under Presidential Drawdown Authority, including air defense missiles, munitions for rocket systems and artillery, as well as armored vehicles and anti-tank weapons.
An investigation is underway after an Air Force Academy cadet was found dead in her dorm room in Colorado Springs.
The Academy identified the cadet as 19-year-old Avery Kuntz from Texas. Kuntz was found unconscious and was an athlete on the track and field team.
Missouri has reported its first confirmed human case of bird flu in a person with no known exposure to animals, according to the state health department.
This brings the national total to 14 cases this year, according to federal data.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
I don't know. I just don't know. Why do they keep doing this every single day? It's like they want to do this. And it just doesn't make any sense.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
You know, I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. Come on. Get the show started with the I don't know. All right, one more babang and we're done, right? All right, good morning, good month, good weird, good decade, good century, whatever it is. Good morning, people. It is Monday. Yeah, just saying Monday, right? Monday, September 9th, 2024. There are cactus-eating melon men in Muleshoe, Texas, and I don't know what that means. But here's the thing. If it really were artificial intelligence, the minute you asked it to create an image of cactus-eating melon men from Muleshoe, Texas, an intelligent being, an intelligent entity, whether it's machine, if there were true intelligence, it would say, what? But it doesn't say what. It just does it, which is troubling, which says it's not intelligent. It will do whatever you tell it to do, kind of like a cult member, unfortunately. We're back there again. But I think I've proved that artificial intelligence does not exist today. I think I have proven that. I don't know what possessed me to ask AI to create an image of cactus-eating melon men from Muleshoe, Texas. But I did ask it to do that, and it proceeded to do that without ever saying, are you fucking stupid? Which indicates that it is stupid, not me, it. Well, I might be, too, for even asking it to do that. But that's a whole... We know people can be stupid. But artificial intelligence, not a thing. I'm willing to die on this hill. Fight me. I hope you had a great weekend. I had an interesting weekend. I spent most of yesterday wishing I had the guts to kill myself, but I don't. So I'm not. Don't worry about me. Don't anybody. Oh, where are you gonna kill you? I was very depressed. Went and played a gig yesterday, and the gig, I don't know. People in show business. Yeah, I'm in show business. All right. Uh, People in the sewer level of show business, which I occupy, um, basically live gig to gig. So Saturday night was kind of fun. Played with a sub drummer named Ben. We ended up killing him, which was fun. But then Sunday came, and I had a bad gig. It wasn't. I don't know. Bad gig. There were lots of tip money in my case, my guitar case. It was a solo acoustic thing, and my case was full of random paper money that people just felt compelled to throw in as they walk out the door. But it seemed like I was not an annoyance, but people weren't there to hear the music. They were there to talk, watch football, watch baseball in some cases, eat. And like, we could just listen to the radio. We don't need this douchebag with his guitar screaming at us. Screaming. So yeah, it's not fun when that happens. And I don't know. I drove home thinking maybe I should, I don't know, drive into one overhead bridge or something, or just crash my car and maybe just end it all. But I'm too much of a pussy for that. This is the absolute truth. I could never ever do myself in because I'm a scaredy cat little wussy boy. That's what it comes down to. So it wasn't a fun weekend. Killing Ben off on Saturday night, that was kind of fun because, listen, he's never been killed before, and now he has. We'll get another drummer next week. Drummers, they're like dime a dozen. No, Ben's a very good drummer, or was a very good drummer before we killed him. Scott killed him, actually. I don't have anything to do with it. If the police are on their way, or if people who were expecting Ben home on Saturday night are now panicking because Ben hasn't come home, Ben sleeps with the fishes. Yeah, I think he'll enjoy eternity with the fishes, to be honest with you. It's better than playing a Rockin' 45 gig. Now, interesting thing on Saturday night, I don't even know how to. I had spent the week preparing new country songs for my gig yesterday, and one of the songs is a Cody Cole. One of these fucking hillbilly Cole Swindell. I don't know, these new guys that just come out and they're all the same fucking song. Can you detect a little bit of grumpiness from me already? One of the songs is called "Forever to Me," and it's about the guy proposing to his woman, getting down on his knee. She got a grass stain on his knee, but I gave her a diamond. She gave forever to me. Blah 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 blah. It was corny bullshit. Anyway, I had spent the week learning that song because I was going to do it yesterday, and I didn't do it. But Saturday night, we were about to play a song, and Mikey said to me, this guy's going to propose to his girlfriend. He's going to get down on his knee and give her the ring. Now, that's a lot of pressure on everybody, on him especially. But the band, listen, if she says no, the rest of the night is not going to be good for anybody. Everybody's going to feel uncomfortable. Entire room, and the place was packed. No reservation, no more reservations to be had. Every seat in the place was packed. So much so that there wasn't a band table for us to have dinner at. So a packed place, and this guy is going to get down on his knee and show her the ring. And if she says no, we're all fucked. The only one who's going to be laughing will be her. So we get to the point, Mikey says, we're going to go into the song. And when we get to this point, we're just going to stop. and the guy's gonna get down on his knees. So we start playing the song. I don't even remember what fucking song it was. I wanted it to be that Forever to Me song that Cole Swindell or Cody Swindell, whatever, the country douchebag. Because I had learned it. And I figured we'd do that song. No, it's I don't know. I don't remember. Fucking I'm Joe Biden and I don't remember, and I endorse this message. Anyway, we get to this song, get to the point in the song, and we all stop. And Mikey says, "Okay, whatever his name, Ramon." Ramon has got something to say, and Ramon at that point chickened out. So we stop in the middle of a song so he could do something, to which he chickens out. Now everybody's wondering what the fuck was that about. Guy was going to give a speech. What was going to do? His girlfriend's looking at him like, "What's wrong with you, Ramon?" His name isn't Ramon. I don't know what his name is. And I'm a little upset now. It's like, dude, you made us stop a song in the middle. That is such an awkward thing to do, to stop a song in the middle of the song. And then just you go, scared. I wanted to yell out. Why does it say Mind Dog YV? It should say TV. No, not down there, but up there it says Mind Dog YV. Something changed. I think probably I'm going to blame this on GD. I shouldn't let him touch any controls. I'm going to blame it on him. Anyway, where am I? So basically, I went over to the guy, Ramon. I pulled out my gun. I put it up to the temple of his head, and I said, "You're going to do it right now." He got down on his knee, trembling. Not trembling that she was going to say no now. Trembling that I am going to put a bullet in his head. And he asked her to marry him. We'll find out what she said at the end of this program. Okay? That's the way it goes. This is what I'm learning. Teasers. Keep the audience on Mind Dog YV. How the fuck did we become Mind Dog YV? I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway, so you'll find out what she said to Ramon later on, if you stay tuned. But in a moment, we're going to meet some really dang disgustingly disturbed men. We don't have a guest scheduled for today. It could be I don't know. It'd be nice if one of these disgustingly disturbed men pulled up a surprise guest like Ron Kane did on Friday with Lana. That was wonderful. I love Lana, by the way. She's my new favorite comedian. And I've never even seen her live, but she's risen to the status of my new favorite comedian. So we don't have a guest today, but if we had a guest, the guest would be sitting through a commercial for the Daily High Club, like you will.
With humble East Coast beginnings in 2015, Daily High Club is the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and consumption accessories. If you're looking to elevate your smoking game to the next level, you're in the right place. With over 1 million top-quality smoking products sold, and with a growing base of over 10,000 monthly subscribers worldwide, we deliver the ultimate smoking experience. But Daily High Club is not just a retailer, we're lovers of the smoking scene ourselves, working with giants like Tommy Chong, Snoop Dogg, Chanel West Coast, and more. Ready to join the Daily High Club? Let our experts curate your collection with our awesome El Primo monthly subscription box, or grab one of our fun and unique pieces from our smoke shop. Click the link in the description below this video to get this party started now.
All right, now we get the party started. Get this party started now. Ladies and gentlemen, in the room with me right now is, first of all, the strange and perverted Stephen Sitcom Ortiz, who is, I don't know, gone down some sewer of algorithms and feels compelled to share his insanity with us, which I guess could be a good thing in some cases. Also in the room right now, we have Ron Kane, who has a actual wheelbarrow full of lingerie that he stole from Lana on Friday night, and also my best friend of 37 years. Well, since my other black friend died, 37 years ago. Anyway, AC Callens is with us. Good morning, AC.
A lot of people may not remember who A.C. Collins is.
Idea.
And I'm sure he doesn't want to remember who he is.
I don't know if he's still alive, but
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Are you ready for Tuesday night's presidential candidates election debate thing? Neither is Trump. But there's nothing we can do to prep him, but we can help you prepare. Order your your official Mind Dog TV presidential election candidate debate shot glasses. Order them by noon today and get them eventually.
I don't even remember what I wrote down the mercenary thing that I was supposed to create in the store Friday, but it was something about I don't know, Stan. What the hell was it?
Sit down and fight like a man. I don't know.
No, we did.
Oh.
So I don't know.
Well, MyDogTV.com. Support your local mercenaries.
Yeah.
And enjoy the suffering.
Just buy something. There's got to be something. We should get lingerie in the store, but I think it's hard to find a lingerie supplier that will work with us because they know Ron is a thief. And
what about edible lingerie?
Ew, that is a pretty disgusting thought. This idea of edible panties is always kind of
no. I didn't say panties. That's disgusting. Well, I don't want. No. That's gross.
Well, lingerie. So what? As long as it doesn't touch her ass, it's fine with you.
Like crotchless and assless, tits out, but like this, like
it's all full of bacteria. No wonder you got bird flu when you went to Missouri.
I got. First of all, no, that was Hep C, and two, it's Missouri. I'm lucky that's all I got.
That's true. Could have got mad cow.
Bad cow. I could have picked up some MAGA disease. Who knows?
Yeah. Fall is here in Long Island, New York, and I'm not happy about it. It's probably one of the reasons I was really depressed yesterday. It's cold. It's fucking cold. I think 48 degrees overnight. What the fuck is that?
Dude,
it's summer officially.
Disgusting, dude. Here this morning it was 48, and it's still under 50 degrees right now. It's gross.
Wow, I don't know. I don't know what it is here right now. I didn't even check but it's chilly.
It's 54 degrees right now. Sorry, it's 54 right now.
I have to bring in my pineapple plant. Eventually.
62, yeah. 62, not bad. Now, Ian pointed out that AI, because I started talking about these, I don't know what possessed me to ask AI to do the cactus-eating melon men of Muleshoe, Texas.
Did you put melanin men and it gave you melon men? Is that what you really tried to do?
No, I put melon men. But obviously I was having some kind of psychotic break when that happened. I mean, what the fuck was I thinking? But the fact, now Ian's pointing out that it got it backwards because the image does look like melons eating cactus, not cactus eating melons, right?
I don't know. It sounds like you tried asking it to make black guys eating watermelon from Texas, and it was like, you can't do that. That's racist. So you said melanin, and then it's not melon.
I would be more inclined to think there is some intelligence if it said you can't do that. That's racist. At least that would prove that there's intelligence there, that it's thinking for itself. Right. But if any time it just says, okay, all right, that's not intelligent. That's stupid.
That's what George Bush did for 8 years. That's not fair.
It's kind of like the intelligence of like a 2 or 3 year old when they just take it literally, without the nuance of trying to.
It does kind of feel like that.
Yeah, it's like cactus eating. Well, okay, we have cactus and they're eating, and then you go into the next thing, as opposed to
it does, because my kids draw like that. You ask them to draw something and they'll take it super literal.
So, but I think my weird intent when I imagine this thing was
I don't even want to think about your intent.
No. Here, it's not that bad. It was to see if I could lure conspiracy theorists or QAnon knuckleheads to think, what is this conspiracy I've never heard of? Because in the description it says there's something mysterious going on in Muleshoe, Texas, and we'll get to the bottom of it. And I just thought, well, one of these people would think, oh, we gotta find out what this is about. This cactus eating melon men.
I have another question. Where's Muleshoe, Texas?
It's in West Texas. It's in between Lubbock and Clovis, New Mexico. It's like, I think population's 8.
Matt, far be it from me to correct you, but the population is down to 4 because of the cactus eating melon men.
I'm going to check out population of Muleshoe, Texas. Hold on.
They weren't
211. Let's see if I'm right.
Wow, are you there? Or did you check it out?
No, I'm just guessing.
Well, if it's a real guess, I'm saying 417.
If you're gonna do that, go to mybookie.com right now and place a bet. Come on.
Just bet on the population of Muleshoe, Texas.
Holy crap. 5,054 as of 2022. That was so. But again,
those are all illegal.
That was when the melon men started the cactus, whatever. Cactus eating melon.
Well, you know, those
the melon men started eating cactus. They weren't eating men; they were eating cactus. So no.
Well, you know, those melon men, they tend to multiply quite frequently and heavily.
They don't have any natural predators.
True. Well, actually, that's not true. They're not far from Dallas. Dallas has a big black population, so
it is far from Dallas. You've never been to Texas, have you?
I've never been to Texas. No, I've never fucking been to Texas. Dude, the only times I've ever been out west was Idaho, and then driving there.
Yeah, that's not really west.
If you're driving across Texas, it feels like it takes days to cross Texas.
It probably does. Realistically, probably at least a full day of driving.
We were driving one of the times we were driving across Texas. We got like halfway in the middle, and there was like nothing for miles and miles and like dozens and dozens of miles. And there was a billboard in the middle of the highway, and the billboard said, "If you lived here, you'd be home now." And I thought to myself, "You're damn right. If I lived here,
I think you could put that billboard any place, right? Really, right?
You can, but I think they put it there just to be a kick in the nuts.
I felt like we were driving for half a day.
Yeah.
At that point, and it was like nothing.
Yeah.
I plan on going to Texas at some point this winter. So
you should go there after Denver. Just like get on the side of the hill that rolls down into the southeast, and you'll get there.
I wonder if I could float there, like on a river.
No, you can't.
No,
you can't.
Well, why not?
What river?
I've never been to Texas. I don't know.
No, I thought you meant float your way to get there. There are rivers in Texas, but there's no rivers that lead to Texas.
No, because I'm pretty sure they all go on the east side of Texas down into the Gulf, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I
just meant like once I get into Texas, just kind of float there.
Yeah, there are places you could float.
There are. They even have like man-made lakes. You know.
Yeah.
I don't want a lake. I need to get somewhere. I don't want to just willy-nilly float somewhere. I want to get somewhere. A lake, I might just end up on the beach the whole time, because the waves.
You wind up on the other side of the lake and you'd be somewhere.
Right.
How big is the lake? What's on the other side?
It's huge. At least the one I was on was huge because
the logistics of this sounds like a nightmare already. I think I'm going to fly Spirit and take my chances.
Oh, Lord.
To me, it sounds like a 50-50 shot. Either way, I'm going to die, whether I do the river or Spirit.
It's not a 50-50 chance. Not with Spirit. With Spirit.
As usual, Ron won't shut the fuck up.
It's called Spirit Airlines because you don't have a ghost of a chance of getting to your destination.
Oh!
My wife flew Spirit to Texas several months ago, and she said she was scared the whole time. Like it sounded like the plane was falling apart. When I dropped her off, while I was going to LaGuardia Airport, and I said, "Where is Spirit Airlines?" So the baggage guy on the side of the curb at the terminal, he said, "Oh, you got to follow that road around, and it's not really in a terminal. It looked like a guy's garage." It's like you see some homeless dude standing out there. He's actually the baggage guy, and he's like standing in front of a garage. And like, oh,
dude, as hard as it is for me to get off and on a plane, to even consider getting on a plane that sounds like it's falling apart scares the shit out of me.
I know,
because I've already accepted I'm the last one off the plane.
I thought at that moment when I saw my wife walking into that little garage or whatever it was, I said, "Well, I'm single again."
He doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
Ron,
the only difference is between Spirit and the other airlines is that the seats are just a little more comfortable on the other airlines. That's it. That's really the big difference.
Well, that's what you're paying for, because Spirit Airlines, I think, was $1.35 from LaGuardia to Houston, Texas for
what though?
round trip.
I will tell you this from being on the planes and them bumping me to first class on the big planes. And
I think you play with food stamps on Spirit. You can pay for your trip.
I don't get food stamps. So, but but the seat difference between first class and not first class really wasn't a huge difference either. Honestly, I was on the same type of plane.
Oh, you misread the sign. It wasn't first class. No class in less than no class. Yeah.
But no, I didn't see, like, I personally, like, I was like, now that I know this, I will never spend the couple $100 difference unless it's an international flight, maybe. But no, not on a regular flight. That's stupid.
On a real airline, there's a difference.
Yeah, on a real airline.
Well, I flew. What did I fly? I flew Delta.
And there's no difference between first class.
The seats were slightly wider. The touch screen you had in the front of you was a little nicer and better.
Sorry, you were on the special sitcom version edition of Delta Airlines. There's a special just for you. White trash, Indiana, Alabama.
Whoa. By comparison to what you're used to.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it hurts. My job here is to be completely honest, whether it hurts or not.
Listen, man, just because I can sound like this doesn't mean I'm a redneck. All right, that's not true.
Oh, you see in Pennsylvania?
We can see by your translucence that you're not a redneck. Literally,
I'm not. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I have two modes in the sun: burn victim and lobster. I have no in between. There's no good. There's just burning and then more burning. I have nothing else. I can't be a redneck. I can't work a farm. I don't have a reason to wear cowboy boots.
Yeah, you don't know where redneck comes from, do you? You don't know. You don't know.
I mean, I grew up in Alabama. I know why they're called rednecks now.
You do? Why?
Because they're fucking hill people. There's outside constantly. They don't shower. They're fucking gross.
No,
the whole state, Alabama. Fuck you.
That's not why. It was a mine worker strike, and the mine worker, GD knows. You have to wear your red bandana around your neck to show your unity. Your unity unity with your solidarity with the union of the coal miners. Can we just
call them sister fuckers? I prefer that because that's boring.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how every person with a southern accent became equated with coal miners in West Virginia.
Well, the redneck thing, we can blame that on stadium country and country hip hop. We're turning
like it's Cody Swindell or Cole Swindell or whatever.
Cole Swindell, Upchurch, Jelly Roll, all these country rappers and these stadium country guys like Florida Georgia Line and Luke Bryan, Luke Combs, Luke whoever.
You know an awful lot about them. I mean,
I listen to country, but I also don't let it make me dress like a fucking farmhand when I live in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
14 years ago, Georgia, what is it? Georgia state line? What the fuck is it? What is when you just said Georgia? Is it Georgia state line or something like that? What is it?
The Florida Georgia line?
Florida Georgia line. That's it. They actually bought one of my songs. They never put it out, but I got a nice check from them. And nice. So I have. Let's not say anything bad about them in case they want to buy another one.
I'm a fan. Don't get me wrong. I
don't know their music.
All the music I mentioned, I do listen to. It's part of my playlist, but I'm not. Again, I don't dress like a redneck though. I don't let it become my personality. Like I said,
Florida Georgia line. If you're looking for more songs that you're not going to actually put out, I got plenty of them. I mean, just send checks, man. Send checks every day.
I wrote a song for a band. I was commissioned to write a song for a band. I busted my ass. I wrote it, and they turned it down because they said this is too difficult. I said, you got like 6 members in your band. You can't play this. Come on, good God.
What you put a 4th chord in there for? That 4th chord will fuck people up, definitely.
It wasn't the 4th chord as much as it was the 5th sharp. I don't know.
As long as it wasn't in A minor, because that would have gotten blacklisted.
So,
the thing is, they said to me, they said they wanted something to show their technical skill, but yet be poppy. I said, I can do that, and I did it, and it was like
they came to you for pop. There's their problem.
It said poppy, like the seed.
Ron,
how did you back in the 80s in Maryland? I was known as quite a good songwriter. Okay,
no, you weren't. You weren't known. Nobody knew you.
Known in Maryland.
Yes. Let me go back to that AI clip where they think you're. What they think you are?
Is this the same AI clip that doesn't understand what a melon man is?
Right. The same one.
Well,
okay.
If you put in melon man and it pulls up GD, we know it's intelligent.
That's what. That's what it thought you were, a melon man. That's it.
Please let's use AI as your point of reference as to whether or not I'm a credible human being. Sure.
Right. So
let's use that.
Right. Ron, how did your little comedy thing with and lingerie theft experience on Friday night go?
It's not theft; it's a heist. It's a lingerie heist.
It went great. We had a great turnout. Better than the last one, I think, or maybe about the same amount. I don't know, but it worked out great. The venue was very happy. A lot of positive feedback from the people that came out to see the show, and Lana did great.
She's my new favorite comedian. I don't know if you're aware of that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Now the show took place in Muleshoe, Pennsylvania, right?
Something like that. Yeah, Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Same thing. Now, did you perform or did you just produce the show?
Both.
Oh, look at you! You're like ambidextrous.
You double dipper. Oh, you're ambidextrous, so you can do both hands.
I usually host all my own shows, or sometimes I'll hire a host and I'll do the guest spot normally.
Nice. Do people know Lana when she comes to Muleshoe, Pennsylvania?
No.
Do they know the name? No.
I mean,
I think that makes a big difference from your how things go. If people know you and know what to expect, rather than just going to a comedy club for comedians, if they know the name, I think they are more into it. I don't know. Somehow.
Well, that's why you go. That's why you go out. You kick ass. You fucking leave an impression. They know your name. So then the next time you come back, they're like, "Oh fuck, Lana's back."
Right.
Oh shit, Ron Kane's back. Let's go.
Right. That's why I was asking if people knew her and knew what to expect, because it's just like it changes everything when you reach the level of people knowing your name and coming to see you rather than just coming to a comedy club. Because if they're coming to see you, you're never going to bomb. You're never going to bomb. If you're the reason they're coming out, bombing becomes a thing of the past. Now,
no one knows, and it's like most comedy shows. Like, people don't even care about the credits that comics have. No one gives a shit. It's like you can go there and say, like, you can tell them I was in this and this and this, but by the time they get up on stage, no one cares.
Yeah.
Like,
well, Nate has a good story. Hannibal Buress was supposed to be hosting a show that Louis C.K. was on, and Buress didn't show up, and they told Nate, "You got to do it." And then Nate went up and introducing Louis C.K. said, "You know him from blah, 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 and blah, 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 and the head writer of Conan O'Brien and all." And he was just listing all his credits. And C.K. got up there. He said, "They know who the fuck I am. You don't have to read my credits." And then embarrassed him for it, even long after he was off the stage. And that's one of the moments he says he'll never forget, is Louis C.K. just like ripping him a new asshole for trying to be a good host and talk about his credits. But yeah, you do reach a spot when they know your name. They don't fucking care about your credits at all. They know who you are. They don't need to be told why they're here.
Well, but even if they don't know you, they don't give a shit about your credits.
Oh, I find it almost embarrassing when they want to, like, can you give us a list of things you've done so we can? I'm like, no.
All you gotta say is coffee with the dog. That's all you gotta say.
Honestly, that's the only thing I include now. I put co-host on Coffee with the Dog.
People are like, what the fuck?
Well, here's the thing though. I've had a couple people Google it and be like, you know what? I've seen this on Facebook somewhere before, and I was like, oh,
Why
yeah,
are you telling me about the guy's breakfast habits? I don't get it.
But yeah,
No,
I
but
don't know. I've always found it embarrassing.
Williamsport is a great town for comedy, though.
But they got to move it to Virginia.
Yeah,
Can't be in Pennsylvania.
Nah, Virginia's not that great for comedy.
No, but it's great for things named Williams.
Yeah.
Williamsburg, Williamsport, Williams, Williams.
That wasn't even low hanging fruit. That was rotting fruit on the ground. That was bad.
Well, yeah, no, it wasn't meant to be funny. It's just like
it's a good thing you play guitars for a living, then, huh? Huh?
I don't play guitar for a living. I don't know. What was I going to say? Oh, you guys are married, gentlemen, right? Or have been married?
I am married and have been married.
Sure.
Ditto.
When you asked, I'm assuming you asked the girl. She didn't ask you. Do you remember? Was it a big? Did any of you guys make a thing out of it?
No, I did it at home, but I still got on one knee.
Good
but I did
for
it
you.
at home.
Got on one knee?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How did you get on one knee?
Well, at the time, I was still able to walk on crutches, so it was a little easier then. Yeah, but yeah, I got down on one knee, but I did it at home. I know she doesn't like being the center of attention like that and all that. And if she did say no, there's no fucking way I was gonna have an audience for that. So I was like,
that's where I'm getting to. It's like
we did it in the kitchen. I think her mom was there. That was it. Like that was it. So
what about you, GD? You did it like in private?
Depends on which town you're talking about. It was a few.
Really?
Yeah.
You did one in public? Like you put yourself on the spot and took a chance, rolled the dice, and said,
"Yeah,
wow, you're a brave fuck." I guess it worked out though.
She said yes, but we never went through with it.
Oh, wow! So you lucked out.
The first time I went and bought the ring, and then I pulled up to her house, tossed it to her, and I said, "Pack your shit, you're moving in." And then I left, sent my friends over there to help her move. And then when I got off work, she was living at my house.
And when you went to buy the ring, were you buying the ring or were you hoping for the gum? Because when you put the quarter in the slot.
Well, that first ring, no, actually, that first ring, I think I went to a pawn shop. I think. I mean, dude, I was 20.
Somebody else's ring.
I was 20 years old. I was a 20-year-old college student with a kid on the way. So yeah, I went to a pawn shop. I didn't even really want to marry her, to be completely honest. But I was raised, if you make a kid, you need to try to raise it together. So that's what I tried to do. I will never give that advice, but I went through with it. 9 years of abuse later, never again. But I'll tell you what, the way I proposed though, I was like, that was so fucking boss. I don't care what anyone says. I was just like, here, we're getting married. Pack your shit, and then.
What about you, Ron? Did you private?
Smart.
Well, we had been together for like 6 years at that point, and we had a kid, and we only got married because we were like, this trip to Vegas came up, and Laura's like, "Do you, we could go and do this trip, and we could get married there." I was like, "Well, I guess so. I got nothing else going on," and so we went and we got married in Vegas. But
this is such a Rod story. It's not even surprising to me. None of it is.
Yeah, it's like I never, like I told her, it's like I never felt the need to ever get married. The main reason we got married is legally it just makes things easier for tax purposes and things like that.
It does.
So when
I disagree. I think I don't know, filing because I still file separately even though we're married. I mean, because for tax purposes. Gee, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's just easier for taxes, like getting insurance like that for kids and things like that.
I don't know. I'm gay. I still believe in love.
But we're coming up on our 24th wedding anniversary.
Holy moly.
So
Christ.
Once again, I did it right and everyone did it wrong.
You did. Like I said, that's so Rod though. That makes perfect sense in every way, shape, or form. I guess 24 years later, still happily fucking married. fucking asshole.
He didn't say happily. I didn't hear anything about happily.
He didn't say happily. That's true. He did not say happily. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we just
No, she said, "Hey, you want to go to Vegas?" And he said, "I guess." Like that's
it wasn't
the Rod way of getting married.
It wasn't anything fancy. We may have just been like laying in bed or something. It was just I just seen it as something. It's like, well, why do I need the state or the government to tell me? Like,
I totally appreciate your sensibilities on this. I'm with you 100% on that.
I agree also.
I agree. The first time around, we went to the courthouse, right? We just knocked it out and got it done. So and my wife now, her last marriage was just a fucking train wreck. So we were like, listen, this is the last time either of us are getting married because it's either going to work or we're just never doing it again. So we went a little fancy with it, but.
See, I have a problem with these people who insist make a big deal of it and make it a public thing, because now you are inviting me into a potential trauma situation. And like, dude, that's imposing. I'm out having a good time with the band. I'm getting to know Ben a little bit before we kill him. And then you got to ruin the night with taking a chance like this. It's not just your chance. You're going to go home and kill yourself, and nobody's going to give a fuck. But me, now I'm going to have to be fucking, my night is thrown off. You're killing my whole crowd. The crowd depends on you getting a yes at that point.
I don't know, man. I don't agree. What do
you mean? What do you mean?
I got to be honest. The few times I've been around where people have proposed and have said no, it was like watching a home run happen at Yankee Stadium. The whole crowd erupted. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, you idiot!" Ah! And then it was a huge party afterwards.
Still a distraction from the band. But I mean,
I
I don't know what kind of sadist you fucking hang out with. Or...
No. Here's the thing. I didn't even take into consideration a band was involved. So yeah, these were just at bars.
Even without the band, though, the crowd was enjoying this person's Schadenfreude or whatever. I mean, no empathy at all. Listen, this guy just humiliated himself, and
comedians do that on a regular basis. You know,
well, yes,
if you can't take the heat, stay off your knees. That's what
there's that exactly, but. Here's the thing: if you're doing it in public, you're setting yourself up for that possibility. You have to consider that. If you're not,
he did consider that. That's why he chickened out.
Good, because that's the thing. If you're gonna make it a public thing,
good. If you're gonna chicken out, do it before you tell the band, "I want you to stop in the middle of the song."
With the band, yes, 100% agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or make up something different. Make up something different. Go out there and say something like,
"I just want to tell you, your father died."
I'm leaving you.
Oh yeah, I fucked your sister. Now that happened.
That would be fun.
My friend Jeff, who he's been gone like 3 years now, he was in Costa Rica. He decided to get married, and they have a Santeria ceremony where the bride confesses her sins. Now, he's not part of. If he was a Santerian, he was supposed to be confessing his sins too. But he got caught up in the moment, and while his bride to be was confessing her sins, he stood up and said, "I had sex with your sister." And the whole place went, "What?" And then she grabbed the machete and chased him through the jungle.
As she should.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. I would have loved that wedding. I would have loved that entire thing. I would have
wedding
loved
didn't happen. No, the Santeria festival there. It wasn't a wedding. It was the pre-cana of
Now, Matt, I'm just gonna try to save you a little bit of time in the future. Since we know that all of your friends are dead, from now on, when you say my friend, just say Ibit instead of saying that he's dead.
Ibit. I got it.
We know all your friends are dead.
I gotta say, I just learned. I swear to God, I just learned about Ibid yesterday morning. I've never heard anybody say Ibid.
Weirdly enough, I heard that word yesterday afternoon at the cookout that I went to. And then I've heard it this morning on TikTok before this show. That's weird that we're all hearing that word all of a sudden. I don't like it. That's weird.
Yeah, that you heard it twice since yesterday morning is very strange. I don't know.
I don't
I've
like that
never
at all.
heard of it. So
that's like when you
fuck
go.
you, Rod. Go do your happy marriage and fucking shut up.
He's not happy. He never said happy.
I can tell he's happy. Look, he's beaming from ear to ear.
But the Ibid thing is kind of like when you go to a car dealership and you see a car you like and that you weren't aware of, and then all of a sudden they're everywhere on the road.
Yeah.
Although I haven't heard it. Now I've heard it since yesterday morning, but just because he just brought it up again, and you've heard it a couple of times. But I think the rest of my life I will be Ibid free.
Me too.
I think so. My friends are not all that Ibid hip to the Ibidness. They're not Ibidi.
They're not inhibited.
Hipid.
Yeah.
Hipid.
They're uninhibited.
I like Hibid.
Inhibited, yeah.
Inhibited. Ooh.
Inhibited, yeah.
So now it's time to. Oh, by the way, Shavola came to the gig on Friday night. I saw him walking up to me, and I was like, "Am I gonna have to fucking fight this big dude?" Now I have to say, because it was bothering me Friday that Mike thought I was attacking him when I said what I said, and I didn't. I swear to God on my ass cancer and everything. May my ass cancer be healed if I'm lying.
This is serious shit.
I never thought. Yeah, I never thought about this. But when I was saying that, I was actually because I felt like he was heckling me, and the fact is, I go out of my way to defend him. Now, the people who say he's stupid. He's much smarter than them. He's much smarter. These are fucking, but he has some friends that are fucking idiots. But and so every time I talk to one of his friends and they start putting him down, I'm defending him to them. And that's the point I was making. I was not calling him a retard. I was saying your friends call you a fucking retard. And I spend all my fucking time arguing, no, he's pretty smart. He's actually an entrepreneur. He's an inventor. He's got things going on. Now, I don't think he knows anything about politics, but that's a whole other thing. You don't have to know about politics to be smart. But I do think he's a smart guy. And I'm arguing with his friends. And I was arguing with his friends just the night before. So when I see him come into my chat room and heckle me, I'm going to fucking say, I spend all my fucking time defending you. Why are you fucking heckling me? And his take on that is he thinks he's giving me content to work with every time he he thinks, like if you go to a comedy show for a friend, do you think standing up and going, you suck, is helpful to the comedian?
Depends on the comedian.
I guess he's not wrong, but I see your point.
I'm just saying situational ethics is what I'm saying.
Well, here's the difference, though.
No, not maybe. Ian's saying maybe he felt attacked when you kept yelling that everyone knows he thinks he's retarded. Or he says tarded. Yeah, he definitely felt attacked when I was saying it. But what I was saying that is I go out of my way to fucking defend him and say, you're stupid. He's actually pretty clever in a lot of ways. And maybe it didn't come out that way. And I can understand. I definitely can understand how he felt like I was calling him retarded.
Yeah, that's what when I refer to you being like passive aggressive. I think thank you, Ian. That's what I was trying to say. Is like it didn't just come off like that. So passive aggressive is wrong because passive aggressive means like you're intending to hurt him and you're doing it in a soft way.
I think the better term is aggressive defensive. Aggressive defense. I was defending myself against being heckled by saying I stand up for you when people say this shit about you.
Well, but here's the thing, right? Here's the difference between the friend that comes to the show and heckles the comedian and what Mike was doing, right? And we established this Friday is Mike's been invited to add content and discuss the things he disagrees with, but he doesn't do that. Instead, he makes a couple points in the comments and then he goes for personal attacks.
Right. Well,
that's
all that said, I had to because I felt bad that he was hurt by what I said because I did not. I actually meant it. I meant it to say that he's not retarded, because his friends are the guys who make this argument. They're borderline retarded. I mean, they're not smart. They're not intellectuals by any any sense of the word. But I was trying to say, why are you fucking compelled to come in and fucking nudge me, especially when he saw the kind of mood I was in that day? Don't fuck. But when he privately texted me, and I understand, it took me a while to understand this, that he is not from the culture that I grew up in. And so when you say the words, and what the words were specifically, if you see me, you better walk in the other direction. That is language in my culture that says, I'm going to blow your fucking brains out. I'm going to fucking walk up. You're going to, if you see me, you better walk the other way, means I'm going to kill you. No fun. It's not a threat. It's a promise. It's a statement that my intent is to end your life.
Yeah,
and when he said that, when he say that to me, it's like speaking. That's my language. I grew up with that. So when I saw him, I said, "Do we have to do this now?" Because and I said, basically, what you said was, "You're my mortal enemy." He said, "I know, I didn't, I didn't mean it that way," and blah blah blah. And so we
taking your eye is your love language, right?
Yes, exactly. Taking an eye out is so Ben, the drummer, sub drummer on the night, was talking about FBI raids or something. I said, you know what? Why am I having to explain this shit? You don't fucking joke about these things with people if you don't know the culture they're coming from. Understanding somebody's language and their background.
That's actually kind of interesting that's how that, like, you took it as like he's gonna blow your brains out because whether it's Indiana or Alabama, when someone says you better walk the other way, they're just looking to throw hands. Like, there's not someone's ready to pull a gun; they're just ready to throw hands. Like, we're gonna
it doesn't have to be with a gun. It could be with a knife. It could be throwing you in front of a fucking moving truck or a train.
I hear that, but I get, because you come from, your past is very mob related and very mafia like, and I get that. So that's why to you it came as a direct threat to your life. Whereas if I hear that, I'm just thinking I'm going to get kicked in the head a few times.
You see, in Baltimore, if someone says that means they want to borrow money. You see me coming, you go the other way, because I'm going to need to borrow $15-20 till payday.
And that's another thing. In defending Chavola, I don't know if I said this, but I feel like I said this, that he has a huge heart. He sent Willie $125 when Willie was stuck in the fucking airport just because he didn't want him to go hungry. So, he's a good guy, and I wanted to say that, but I don't understand. And this is why
in the past, you didn't say that day, but you said that in the past.
I think I said it. But anyway, I put out this thing. I put a poll on YouTube. Do hecklers think they're helping out? Because I'm certain now, because I've talked to a couple of people who were witness to the whole thing, and they said, when he does that, he thinks he's helping you. And it's like, how did the fuck you get into your head that first of all, if you think I need help on this program, you don't like the program, you can easily tune out. I'm not asking for help. The chat room is not there for, oh, please help me, I'm not being funny enough, I need you to fucking give me something to fucking react to. The chat room is there for the conversations that we have. If you have a counter opinion, you have fact checking, all that kind of stuff, that's what it's for. You want to inject your opinion, that's fine. But heckling to say, my co-hosts suck, they're no good at what they do, you suck, you know what, you should come to the Trump rally, that kind of stuff, that's just fucking heckling. And so the question was, do hecklers normally think they're helping out? And I think the answer is yes, in a lot of ways. Sometimes alcohol is involved, but the comedian's bombing, let me help him out by yelling.
I think it's a mixed bag, because you have some of the hecklers that will just sit there and be like, you suck, that's offensive, how dare you, blah, blah, blah. Those people aren't trying to help. They're just, they're offended. You have those who try to be funny and think that they're just having good timing and trying to like help the joke, and they think they're helping, but they're not. And then you have those who are just trying to get all the attention. Those are the guys that are like, you suck, I'm better than you, blah, blah, blah. So I mean, it's a mixed bag, but I do think, like you said, I think a chunk of them are probably thinking they're helping.
Yeah. Well, I've seen enough. Now, you have to put in the friend the relationship that you have with somebody. Now, because most hecklers aren't friends of the comedian. They're just people who went there, got drunk, or they just feel like I've been invited to the show. No, crowd work does that, and I'm sorry if people take offense to that, but I think the proliferation of crowd work gives people the impression that their input is welcome, always welcome. Like, not just welcome when the comedian asks, "Oh, where you from?" Oh, I'm part of the show now, right?
I'm sorry, Ron. This is directly to you. Okay, that stomach. Did he just eat a whole block of Swiss cheese, or was it regular cheese without holes and he's bubbling, and those are like digestion bubbles?
No, I think it's just Swiss cheese is when I
Because that's a big block to get to that little hole. Yeah. He's trying to get. Yeah.
Matt, to the point you were making, this is the reason I've been. I even hate to say anti-crowd work, but I feel like the crowd work thing has just opened a floodgate of hecklers, allowing them the basically almost giving anyone permission to try to become part of the show because it's so popular, especially in clips and on TikTok and on Reels, for crowd work to happen, and people assume that, for example, that this comedian's show is all crowd work, and then they can do it there and anywhere.
Yeah,
and I've always been like, guys, you're kind of taken from the art now because
it's almost like you have to put a disclaimer. If you're gonna do crowd work, come out with saying this. If we're gonna do this, it's when I address you. This is not giving because you're overestimating the idiots in the audience if you think they're smart enough to understand that if it's being initiated by the person on stage, it's welcome. If it's not being initiated by them, it's not welcome. People aren't smart enough necessarily to make that connection.
It's not as common knowledge as it should be. It's damning that it's hurting things, man, because like, even at open mics, it's to the point now where at open mics, people think that they can become part of the show. And you have people up there that are legitimately trying it for the first time, not someone going out on a dare, but somebody going up trying it for the first time. They wrote material, and now you have idiots in the crowd trying to talk to them while they're just trying to try it for the first time.
Well, if you go to an open mic and to do crowd work, you have other problems going on.
You have to do it though. You have the sickness. It's what Rob White called the sickness. He labeled it.
I've seen it, and it's terrible. You shouldn't do crowd work at an open mic.
Because half the times the open mics are like 80% comedians. If you're, and so doing crowd work with other comedians, it's absolutely.
Well, and people. And people like to, and don't get confused. Like, there's a difference between doing crowd work and being able to improvise, during your set when you need to. Is improvisation important? Of course it is. Should you be able to handle anything, including a possible heckler? Sure. But when it's so rampant that you almost have to like be on the defensive from the time you walk on stage is ridiculous.
Yeah. Ian says there are viral. What does he say here? There's multiple viral comedians that are just doing crowd work. It's sickening. Now, just doing crowd work. That's an amazing.
Yeah. Fucking horrible.
Yeah. So Laurie Kilmartin put out a clip the other day that was crowd work, and I applauded her for it. It was like, I'm not a fan of crowd work. I'm definitely not a fan of it. I understand sometimes done, but this was like the best not the best, but it was very good, and definitely worth checking out. But yeah.
Like, for example, like when I can't go on stage, for example, when I'm stuck on the floor performing, I'm eye level with everybody sitting there. So, there's times where I'll include them, a little bit here and there.
Now, let me just say, if Joe Urell had that situation, the club would be fucking publicized for not being making the stage handicap accessible. He would be ripping them apart for about 2 months straight, every day, all day on Twitter.
No, there's times where they've even offered to lift me on the stage, and I'm just like, no, it's cool. I'll just perform on the floor, because it's at times it's even a little more comforting for me to be on the floor with everybody, and it gives me a little bit of an edge, and it's the reason I have some opportunities coming my way that I can't publicly discuss, but that have worked out. So it's just one of those things where I can improvise and make it work. I have no reason to shit on a club. If they're gonna allow me to use a mic in their club, the last thing I'm gonna do is shit on them, just because I can't get on their stage.
I just got a text message that is very confusing to me. You're currently subscribed to text notifications from Breakfast. Would you like to continue receiving notifications from Breakfast?
Fucking what? You subscribe to Breakfast?
I didn't.
Are you calling your eggs and bacon in the morning? Like, are you texting your toast? Like, what's happening?
I don't know.
Are you that bougie that your kitchen notifies you when breakfast is ready?
Matt, this was bound to happen. Okay, you have a yard full of chickens. Chickens lay eggs. You're bound to get that.
I didn't know I could subscribe to Breakfast. I might have if I knew that it was an option, because I would love to have bacon and eggs.
Breakfast in life, because like he said, now you get fresh eggs. You got chicken for dinner.
I don't get fresh eggs. These chickens are fucking one-way street. They just come here to eat, and I get nothing out of the relationship.
You need to go lay your head in a nest and show them what it looks like, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's how that goes."
Oh no, they're going to the next yard to give the eggs.
Yeah, the lady next door isn't feeding them. She's just getting the eggs, and I probably wouldn't eat them
They're
already.
taking your food and feeding another family. That is so Robin Hood.
I know. What a gem. Look at you, you big fucking softy. You making up with Mike. You feeding the poor. Fucking look at you, man. I've never wanted to go after a man so much in my life.
I've been feeding the poor for a long time. Before you guys were on the show,
family doesn't count.
I used to go to the shelter and serve breakfast and lunch every day. Before the show, I would go and work the kitchen and feed people, and then after the show, I would go back.
I
had a bad experience there that made me say, "Fuck these people."
Diarrhea?
No, with them backstabbing each other, and fucking a homeless guy attacking the help who was volunteering to put food in his mouth, just angry and then stealing from people. It's like, fuck you, man. We're all here out of the kindness of our hearts, having empathy, trying to make your life better, and then you treat people like shit. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, we're all here trying to make up for past sins from when we threw people off the roofs and trying to get.
There were suggestions that it was all part of community service, mandated community
service. My drug procurer is a manager of a Papa John's, and at the end of the night, she takes all of the leftover dough, cooks it up, and takes it to the homeless shelter.
And they fucking piss on him.
No, actually, she's an amazing person. First of all, she's great, and second, she'll sit there and have pizza with them. It's really cool. She's a really good person, actually.
Well, it's good for her.
Yeah.
Anyway,
she's doing it.
I mean, she's also a drug dealer, so she's not like the best person in the world, but she's definitely a pretty good person.
Oh.
But what drugs is she dealing? If it's just pot,
just marijuana products.
We've discussed this before. Marijuana is not a drug.
I know. I just think it's funny that she's a drug dealer, but she's also like one of the most wholesome people on the planet. It's in my head. It's just a really funny dichotomy that it really makes me giggle.
We were talking about crowd work when GD brought up Ron's cheese thing, and I did not want to subvert the old crowd work discussion, because we haven't had that enough on this program. But in the news today, Americans eat 42 pounds of cheese $4 billion says they want more. I don't know what that means. Like somebody's betting $4 billion that we could do better than 42 pounds of cheese.
I don't know, but I do not eat that much cheese. I'm not a fan of cheese like that. That's disgusting.
Very binding.
I'm
Yeah,
lactose intolerant, and I still can't stop eating cheese. But I have to pick which cheese because some cheeses bind me more than others.
I find cheese to be too rich, and just I don't like the texture. I think pretty much all cheese kind of. I don't have government cheese. I don't have food stamps. I'm not that poor, but I'm close. But I don't have. But yeah, I just find like any cheese is gross. The only cheese I like is like nacho cheese.
You don't do cheeseburgers?
Not usually. No, I usually don't have cheese on it.
Pizza, you take the mozzarella off the pizza.
Normally, if I have a pizza, I get like a chicken bacon ranch pizza, with light cheese. So it's very little cheese, and then yeah.
You come to New York, you order that shit. We'll fucking whack you, motherfucker.
You're telling me if I come to New York, I get pizza and whacked off? Hell yeah, let's go.
Not whacked off, whacked. So, we'll explain the difference when you get here.
No. Listen, I'm not saying I won't eat a regular pizza. I'm just saying
I'm saying you order chicken, bacon, pineapple fucking pizza over here.
If I go to New York, I'm gonna have
rip your dick off and shove it up your own ass.
Okay, that's fine. If I go to New York, I'm gonna have classic New York pizza. I'm a tourist. Of course, I'm not gonna go and ruin it. That's gross.
I was gonna say, if you come to New York and order that your usual pizza, you better walk the other way. Okay,
exactly.
Just walk the other way.
Thank you for saying that.
But no, I don't. No. If I came to New York, I would obviously just have regular pizza. If I'm at home, I'm gonna have what I want.
I want the bacon chicken with the white sauce, and be like, hey, you better get out of here before I have my friend Matt here talk to you. From the
honestly, I prefer a lot of fresh veggies if I can help it. If there's cheese,
you come to New York with that kind of fucking language.
No, like peppers, mushrooms, onions.
We don't eat vegetables here. There are no vegetables in New York.
Well,
there are, but they're in a different ward of the hospital.
Yeah. No, that's not true. My wife loves vegetables. I don't know what's wrong with her. She's probably not from around here. Now tomorrow,
Ron, you muted. Ron, you muted yourself.
That's fine. What difference does it make?
He wouldn't shut the fuck up, so I had to mute him.
His lips are moving.
Yeah, you just don't shut up.
No. I just said I hate cheese. Cheese is terrible.
Really?
Yeah, I'll eat it on pizza, but like if you're gonna throw cheese on a sandwich, just throw it in the garbage. What's the point?
Well, I kind of. I get that. I don't want to offend the Wisconsin people, the cheeseheads. I don't want to put a whole industry out of business. But I do. My conspiracy theory is most ass cancer comes from cheese. It's kind of like it's cow fucking.
Why are you putting cheese in your ass, Matt?
I'm not putting cheese in my ass. Cheese is coming out of my ass.
He's putting it in his mouth. It's getting stuck.
Cheese is working its way down to my ass, binding my ass up so that I can't take a good, easy, free-flowing dump. I think it's all.
This doesn't get your morning going, listeners.
No, this is why coffee.
If this doesn't get your morning going like a strong cup of coffee and ass talk, then you're in the wrong place.
Right, exactly. That's a quote. That's a soundbite. That's a something.
B-roll.
Yeah, B-roll. That's B-roll. So tomorrow night is a debate, and people are.
Oh, we didn't do the news at 10. Is that better?
No. Well,
God damn it! Fuck.
We could do the
we'll do the
news on the. Yeah, we'll do it on the way out. Well, there's bird flu in the news. That's good.
Great. Love that.
What else?
Fucking bird flu, monkeypox. The astronauts are still stranded in space. Ass cancer is ravaging Matt.
Put a pin in that one because they're going to be stranded until 2025.
Right.
Yeah, but they're So the next SpaceX Dragon capsule is going to be going up with enough room for them to come back. But I think that's in
Well,
early 2025.
Leon Musk. I don't know if you're familiar with Leon Musk. I think he's somehow related to Elon. He is planning on sending a unmanned mission to Mars in 2 years, and if that goes well, in 4 years, sending people up there. I just wish he would go. That's all. Just go.
Listen, hold on. Look, as much as I think Elon Musk is an insane person, I think his cars are, as much as I love the Teslas, I think they're overall garbage. His electric cars do more harm than good. As far as the space portion goes,
you love the Teslas. You said you love the Teslas, but they're garbage.
I like the idea of them. I think aesthetically they look very pleasing. I love the interiors, but they're poorly made. They're cheaply made. They're bad for the environment. It costs more oil to charge them than it does to drive a gas car. But
somebody's been listening to Fox News.
No, listen, hydrogen's gonna. Even Elon Musk said hydrogen's going to be the way of the future. We all know it is. But as far as space goes, he's revolutionized space travel. He's revolutionized the space industry, the privatized side of it.
Not him,
and he's
the scientist.
Him and his company. He
he's revolutionized space travel. In what way? Have people been traveling to space that I don't know about?
I mean, there's people going up into space all the time, but he, for example, we have the reusable boosters. That's a huge thing. That's a huge cost cutter, for example. The way that he's planning on getting ships to refuel at the moon before they go to Mars, for example, to have enough fuel, things like that. I mean, things that NASA talked about doing for years, but Elon Musk can get the investors behind him to get done.
Not true. Not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. I had the administrator of NASA on, and she talked about how Elon Musk just took money from NASA and didn't deliver anything, which is why hold on. This is why he's on the Trump train now, because he felt dissed by the Obama administration, who wouldn't give him money for his ideas that didn't work.
He needs to quit being a crybaby. But I'm not anti-NASA by any means, but somebody's got to fucking get on the ball and get past the moon. We hit the moon in '69. Come on,
did we?
We don't need to be putting people at every place. Every place we go, we leave trash.
No, okay, Mars is going to be the place
trash there.
We're going to leave trash there. Here's my question.
Nothing.
My question.
There's nothing on Mars.
There's not. But why do we not shoot trash at the sun?
It's not efficient. Now, I can see if you're talking about radioactive trash, like instead of putting it in the ground under the mountains.
I mean, sure that, but also, I don't know, because if you launch radioactive trash and that rocket fails, then you just basically just radioactive wastelanded, everyone. But just like garbage, I don't know. That's always been a question I've had.
It's inefficient. We create way more garbage.
I know. I always kind of figured it was an efficiency. I don't know, but I figured it was an efficiency thing. But it just always blew my mind. Like, there's got to be a better way. I guess there's not.
Yeah, not make so much garbage.
Yeah,
that's the best way. Not make so much garbage.
I know a better way.
Kill everyone.
Who's this? Who are we looking at?
Okay, hold on. So here's my thing, right?
What was that? Wait a minute. I need an explanation of what this is. It's like a giant
massage wheel.
It's the Bean Flicker 1000. I get that, but
is she like split?
Yeah.
On that, it doesn't. It looks like she's kind of like laying sideways and that on like hip.
She's getting her dunk beat around by it for sure. But my question is, how come she's not reacting to it? Because I feel like any woman on that would.
She's on her phone.
That's a little speed.
She's just getting a massage. That's it.
Yeah.
What's on the screen above her? I was curious to see what the hell that is. It looks like somebody's rubbing their ass on.
Yeah, the screen above is more like it's like the sales. It's like a commercial for it. It's like a highlight reel of what she's doing.
Do you actively go looking for this?
With the Bean Flicker 9000.
Do you actively go looking for this content, or is somebody sends it to you?
No, they send it to Ron. Ron is
I'm pretty sure the algorithm is as annoyed with him as it is with me, and it's just sending all of this terrible shit our direction. Because my algorithm, guys, there's shit that I haven't sent you that even I go, if this was sent to me, I'd be upset.
Right.
And I can't figure out where it's coming from because here's the thing. All I look up on my phone mostly is sports stuff, space and alien stuff, and comedy stuff. That's it. I don't know.
It's not just what you look up. It's also what you say if your mics are on.
That's not fair.
Look, I'm not saying it's fair. I'm just saying
fair at all because I can't help what I say.
Ibid.
Yes.
Stop. That was going to be on death videos.
Ron never got a chance to answer Matt's question about why does he have the giant vibrating roll on in his catalog of porn.
It just happens. I got all sorts of weird shit. Trust me.
Me too.
I don't know.
I get straight up murders. The people.
She's
being
giggling at
over,
something.
Things like that.
She's giggling at something. I think it's something she's looking at on her phone. Probably a cat video of me playing.
She's looking at herself. She's probably looking at herself on the phone.
Yeah. So where was I? Oh, the debate tomorrow night. Now tomorrow night, everybody. To me, it feels like a like a Worldwide Wrestling Federation, whatever the fuck it is now, a wrestling pay-per-view thing. Like it's like lowest common denominator. People are looking at it for entertainment value. Nobody is going to learn anything about. We know where candidates stay. We know what Trump is about. I think sane people know what Harris is about. Insane people.
Fake accent.
Yes. Insane people think she's a communist. People who don't know what communism means or understand anything about it. So, but I don't think they're going to learn she's not a communist by whatever she says tomorrow night.
First of all, I don't think the people who take communion are necessarily bad people. That is what a communist is, isn't it? Someone who takes communion.
I just hope that they have people that whoever asks the questions have different accents. So she uses different accents because she's using different accents. Fox News. Sorry, I'm really a hyper today. I'm sorry.
Okay, Ian, but you say you heard. Did you look to see? Because I'm just saying that's
well, we can go to her website and look, can't we?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can check her website. We don't have to listen. That's
Ian says he heard her website doesn't have any policies on it. I know what she's talked about. Again, I don't think the debate is going to change anybody's mind or inform anybody more than they are at this point. I don't think people are very informed, but I would then you're not allowed to play multimedia, but there's a clip I would like to play because to me this is like insane level vindication. I'm going to preface this. I don't often.
I just wanted to throw out real.
I'm speaking.
My bad. Sorry.
I don't often play Nazi videos on this program, but Nazi Nick has discovered that he was lied to about the election being stolen, and that 1,600 people went to jail, 5 people lost their lives over a lie, and he's ranting about it. And if I had the ability, I would say, play this to start the debate.
He's admitting, he says, oh, I lost by a whisker. So what was the point? Like, what's the point of any of it? You lost in 2020? Seriously? I mean, what are we even doing anymore? Then you're a loser. Then you're a loser. You just lost. Then you lost to Joe Biden. You deserve to be charged. If he admits that he lost, then that actually vindicates the DOJ charge against him. Because the charge is that he knew he lost, but he lied to defraud the people. That's the DOJ's charge. So why did we do Stop the Steal? Why did anyone go to January 6th? Why is anyone sitting in jail? Why did anything bad happen to anybody? Why did everyone get censored? Why is everything bad that has happened to the people that are involved, why did that need to happen if you're just going to walk it all back and say, oh, I lost? Well, it would have been good to know that before 1,600 people got charged. It would have been good to know that before I had all my money frozen, put on a no-fly list, banned from everything, lost all banking and payment processing. Would have been good to know that.
It's not like there weren't 81 million people telling you that. It's that you listened to the one guy who you knew was a liar right up front. But that video, that's got to go viral. People need to see that, to stop the steal people. The people who are still saying the election was stolen need to see that this is a guy who funded a lot of the fucking retards that showed up that day. This is a guy who is a very influential person among these far-right lunatics. Finally coming to the realization, Donald Trump fucking lied to you. It was all for nothing. And they need to hear that. They need to hear it in a big way, because this is the guy, again, this is a guy who was bone deep into this fucking movement. Finally coming to, wait, did Trump just, he admitted he lost? He says he lost by a whisker. He lost by 10 million votes. That's like a big fucking whisker. But the fact that it doesn't matter if it's a whisker or a fucking beard. You lost, and you lied to people, and you got people to go to jail for you. You got people to die for you, risk their lives. People died for him because of his lie. And there's a guy finally 4 years later saying, it would have been nice to know that. Yeah, it would have been nice to know that, but you should have known that. I mean, this is a habitual liar who's done nothing but lie for himself. And try to put himself first, not America first, put himself first in everything. Now you come to the realization that this is the truth, and that's what you got. Whoa, would have been nice to know that.
Well, he's still not going to relinquish his racist beliefs, the white nationalism. So that still stands. It's just the election loss is like, whoa. We could have just stood by the white supremacists without the election loss.
Exactly. No, he's not going to not stop being a Nazi. He's going to be a Nazi for the rest of his life, and he is quite adamant about J.D. Vance. He's not even a white guy. Look, he's married to a half brown, half whatever. He's not giving up any of the racism, bigotry, and all that stuff. He's just saying that Trump finally, how could you, what do you mean? Did you come out and admit it? You admit it now? Like, what was this all about?
Practice? We're talking about practice?
Yeah.
To turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
Exactly.
Ian, I just letting you know, I went to her website. Once you get past 2 or 3 donation pages, you'll find her issues section. So,
well, we all have issues.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that her policies are correct, or that her policies or even that her policies are aptly represented, but they do say what she wants them to say. So it's up to us to double check. I'm just saying, it's don't go blindly into that good night. Everybody do your research, and then vote for Kamala Harris. Do your research.
I just wish people would stop acting like they don't know what Trump is about. It seems like we're just doing this dumb dance. It's like, you know what he's fucking about. He can't accept loss. He just rambles incoherently like an old elderly man with cognitive issues. I don't know if that's because of the Adderall or the time he's missing from he hasn't been able to spend time with his good friend Jeffrey Epstein. So I mean, what are we even doing here?
He's mourning. Ron, he's grieving for his friend. Be kind.
I don't know.
Putting in double time for him and Epstein.
It's just to address what Ron just said. I don't know that Adderall increases cognitive decline. It might. I don't know that. But I think in Trump's case, first of all, I think everybody, once they reach 80 years old, should expect some cognitive decline. Trump was never a smart person to begin with. As much as he likes, I don't like when people call me stupid. Well, what are we supposed to say? You're a genius? No, you were a fucking stupid person. That's why you had to hire somebody to take SATs for you. That's why you had to have somebody else take your admissions test to for him, and then for Wharton. Basically, you were not a smart person, and so when you take a non-smart person and you start to decline as you get older, you just you never had a chance to begin with to be a smart.
You know your gene pool is in trouble when Eric Trump turns out to sound like the reasonable one.
When did that happen? When did that happen? I never heard him say anything remotely reasonable. What did he say?
No, he was doing some of the speaking or between during the RNC convention, the little meet and greets in the green room. I'm not saying that he said anything correct. I said even the dumb stuff, he said it in a
no, but you said reasonable.
Yeah, he sounded reasonable. I'm not saying that he was reasonable.
Oh.
He came off without the coke written like Don Jr. Everything is like the America sucked the bitch, and Ron, what's his name? The father, what's his name? Donald Sr. Yeah. The same thing, and the daughter. I was giving up on Ivana, the daughter, whatever her name is. Bunky. Okay, yeah, I've given up on her. What's the other daughter? Tristan, the Tiffany. She's not even invited to the events. So it's on Eric to represent the family and to kind of sound, even though he's spouting bullshit, he says it in a calm voice, like a reasonable person. You could almost listen to him.
Not me.
Almost.
I can't.
Well, if you listen to the actual words, you want to plug your ears. But I'm just saying the tone. He tries to come off as reasonable. He really tries.
Well,
because he knows how dumb he is, and when you know you're dumb, you try real hard not to be that dumb. If you don't want people to know you're dumb.
Hey, knowing you're dumb is an important first step into. But some people. Now, I'm not saying everybody. Some people take that as an initiative to learn some things. But I'll coming back to the Nikki Nazi thing. I really think that's an important clip. Yeah, Nikki Nazi. I think it's important to share with people because there are still, I don't know what the number is, but millions of people who are still holding to the idea that Trump won the election. And the fact that he came out and admitted that he lost did not get enough attention. And the few people who did notice, Nick, who is influential to these people, they need to hear him saying, what do you mean? So it was all for nothing? Yeah, that's what we've been telling you. It was all for nothing in the beginning. Because we have January 6th, I watched it live. Because there were feeds all over social media on it, and watching it live.
Stephen was there. Stephen was there.
I know people.
I absolutely was not there.
I know people who were there, and I know hardcore Trumper people who admit that at that moment, when that shit started going, they said, "Let's get out of here. We're just going to end up going to jail for an idiot." So they actually admitted at that point. A little bit of sensibility came to their head and said, this is fucking ridiculous. We got to get out of here before we get in trouble, and drove away. But January, I think we have normalized that or just put it into MAGA rationalizations and justifications where we should not have. This is really an attempted coup on America, and we just let it slide. So when Nick comes out and says that stuff, and a moment of realization that we were had, I think that message needs to be amplified. And I wish the Harris campaign would kind of use that. I mean, useful Nazis. I think
even if their campaign doesn't, one of the PACs should. One of the PACs should at least use it. Even if her campaign doesn't, one of the Harris PACs could or should. Now, I knew one person who was at the January 6th gift shop thing. But she was actually a patrolman. She was actually one of the Capitol Police officers there. And I tried to get her on the show, but she had to go through her union rep, or not the union rep, but one of the representatives, and they would not let her talk on radio. So I had to give up on it.
By the way, there's nothing on Govs after us today. So if you're watching us on Govs, Tony's taking the day off. I think he has a replay set if you're so interested. But so I may not just end this thing on Govs. I may forget. But I'm glad you brought up the Capitol Police, because over the weekend, the Fraternal Order of Police endorsed Donald Trump. And I want people to understand what that's really about. And I think it's a really scary thing for where we're headed. What it's about is Trump promised immunity to people who like kneel on necks and just police brutality. He promised that no police person should ever fear prosecution from brutality and things. So it gives license to cops who shoot a woman in the face in her own apartment for no reason. It gives. So what we're going to see is, and it's really important that people who are pro-police hear this message for what it means. If you have a policeman, policewoman in your life, and you want them to come home from their shift, as you should, you're not helping them by giving them immunity. The proper tactic is for good cops, quote, good cops, to confront bad cops and stop the bullshit, not give them immunity, because all you're doing by giving them immunity is telling the criminals who have better weapons, that the target on the police back just got bigger, that the police are your enemy, that they are looking to be able to kill you and not have any accountability for it. If you're sending that message to society, all you're doing is putting more police in jeopardy, and you're not going to have more police going to jail. You're going to have more good police coming home in body bags. They're going to be dead because you're looking to grant immunity for something that should never have immunity. The proper solution is for good cops to confront bad cops and knock down the thin blue line and say, there is a code of responsibility. Once you accept the badge, you accept that position, that you have to do the right thing. But saying we should be immune for it, it's going to get far more cops killed. And if you don't understand that, mark my words, if it comes to pass and Trump gets elected and follows up on that promise, now he might not, because he's known for never delivering on promises. But if he did, and somehow there was just blanket immunity for cops, all you're going to see is dead cops. The streets are going to be lined with dead cops. If you care about police, fucking wake up and get some sensibility about what it really means, because you don't want blanket immunity for policemen, because there are too many who just are corrupt.
The stats are there that during his administration, crime was up, murder was up, because he kept, putting fuel on the fire, because he's a moron.
Right.
But the police overall, I don't think they fucking get it, because they're so stuck in this old thinking. Because like a year ago, there was a billboard going into the city of York, and the city of York had its own issues with race. There were race riots back in the late 60s here,
and last week probably.
Yeah, and they put up this billboard. Is like history, it's like all a black and white picture with all these cops standing with dogs, and they're like, we're proud, York proud, or whatever, York police proud. And that is like, motherfuckers, what are you doing? Are you trying to get people to actively just keep hating you? Is that your plan?
Yeah, no. The issue has always been this thin blue line. Now, let's make no mistake about it. If you become a cop, who was the guy that actually they made Al Pacino played him in the movie? Basically, Serpico.
it takes a lot of courage and bravery to go up against the blue line. They were going to, shoot him in the face for just telling the truth and trying to clean up the police department and working. And there are this whole cop against cop thing. They hate IA, the Rat Squad, they call them. But if you're a good cop and you take the position of a police officer with any kind of real intent to serve, protect, and serve, you have to start with cleaning up the department and confronting the bad guys. And I know, again, coming back to that, it does take a lot of courage because there is this let's protect our own, us against them mentality. But at the end of the day, all you're doing is making it worse. If you're just covering up for them, you're just increasing the target on your back. And if you don't understand that, look at, again, during the Trump administration, yeah, crime was up, but also the amount of police that came under fire because they thought they had license to do that kind of stuff. In New York City, people were ambushing cops who were sitting alone in the cop without the cops initiating anything. We became a target. They got shot in the head sitting in a parked police car, and that's going to happen a lot if you get Trump even trying to follow through on that promise. And
Matt, if I could just piggyback on what you just said, for Movie Monday, I'm changing my movie. Y'all did not change my movie because I had a different movie pick, but Movie Monday, I want us all to watch The Little Things with
you want to see a little thing?
Denzel Washington, and Malik. Back to the guy from
Malik.
Malik with the strange eyes, with the bug eyes. He played Freddie Mercury in the Queen thing.
All right.
What'd you call me?
Little Things. Let me write that down, and so I can forget it.
That's our movie for next Monday. We'll discuss The Little Things next Monday.
What's it streaming on?
Oh, Netflix. Everything's going to be Netflix. Everything I bring up is going to be the Netflix or YouTube.
What was it called again?
The Little Things.
The Little Things. Okay, cool.
Yeah, don't Google it. Don't Google it because you'll come up with something different. Just go to Netflix and type in.
You picture my crotch. Is what if you
riding that little riding that little reel like a hamster. So that's it for Movie Monday. So people in the audience out there, if you want to be part of next week's Movie Monday discussion, watch The Little Things.
We should post that on the Mind Dog TV group and I'll share it around for people and that's next Monday we'll discuss that.
Yeah, next Monday we'll discuss The Little Things.
Right, Little Things. And
The Little Things.
The Little Things with Denzel Washington and that Malik Bug-Eye dude.
Yeah, Malik Bug-Eye. That's his name.
Malik Bug-Eye.
Yeah, Malik Bug-Eye.
All right. Well, that's good. We have something to look forward to. The rest of this week is kind of we have your friend Leanne Linsky on Friday.
Yes,
I think she's your friend.
Yeah.
She's your friend.
We're like this. We're buddies. We're like this now. Thank you. Thank you for introducing us.
Now you have a show on Plausible in October, right? First week of October.
No, this month, the 27th. It's a Friday.
27th. See, why do you do it on a Friday though? My thinking on that is there are people going out. They're not going to stay home and watch. Say our weeknight.
That would be true on a Saturday or any other night, right?
I know. Well, no, not necessarily. Like I think
it's starting to get cold though.
Thursday nights are great television nights for whatever reason. They've always been. I don't know. It just feels like weekend nights is for television or even internet streaming, whatever the fuck we're calling this. Is probably not the best night to get people to watch. That's all I'm thinking.
Well, like I said, I'm in the learning phase, and so I'm up for learning. And so if it works out, great. If not, I'll try a different night. But the thing is that I'm having a part show. I'm having a small live audience in my home, so I can perform to. I'd
rather you have it with a small dead audience.
I tried that. We tried that with the first show, and
It didn't work on camera.
Oh, look.
Yeah,
I do.
it doesn't.
Oh, look, I do have a gig that night. That's unfortunate.
And my wife got exhausted because she had ropes on all the dead people's arms, so it looks like they were like giving me a wave, and she just couldn't operate all the strings at once. So we decided.
And the one body kept falling in front of the lights, and it was causing shadows.
The smell. It took days to get that smell out the basement.
Well, you gagged 3 times when I was helping you try to set things up, so I knew it wasn't going to work out well. So he puked on his robe, actually. So
yeah.
Oh, what's this all about? Get out of my face! Get out of my face, you bastard!
But it's a learning curve for me. It's something like I said, because eventually what I'd like to do is to marry plausible with actual live shows with like larger crowds.
Right. I'm definitely think that's a good idea. I think even if you are planning to stream a comedy show, I think having it in a real comedy club with not just your friends and people you invite over, but a room full of it makes it much more likely.
Right. And so what I'm working on now is basically I'm trying to get the technology to marry so that the shows, by the time I'm actually out there doing them, it'll run smooth. It'll look like a professional production. I'm trying to get all the kinks out of the way now, and even now I'm trying to minimize the kinks. I want it to look as good as possible, which is why
you say kink, because I think Ron gets excited when you say that.
Do you think plausible would be a good option for this tattoo show coming up? Because we're not going to be able to put a big audience in there.
Well, I'll tell you what. We have
studio.
Leanne Linsky, who is the proprietor of Plausible, and you can address that question to her on Friday.
Because I was trying to think of a way where we could get people to, potentially get some paying people to watch. Because it's an interesting concept. People want to see it, but it's in a tattoo studio, so there's not a lot of room.
Have you signed up for Plausible yet as a comedian?
Yeah, Stephen has.
I did, yeah.
All right, that's a start. You're starting. You're a nice start.
It's just the plausible thing. It makes me nervous because during the pandemic and trying my hand at doing comedy on a stream was really bad. So.
But this is different. This is a different. What I like about this. I'm sorry, Ron. Did I cut you off because you opened your mouth like you were going to say something? Then Steven said, "Okay." So
he was asking for my cock. I'm sorry, that would be.
Yeah. So the thing I like about Plausible, the technology that they've invested in, it makes comedy so much better when it's streamed as opposed to what they were doing before.
Explain.
Okay, first of all, one of the things I noticed in the past, at least when I did the few shows I did streaming on whatever platforms they're using before, you can't interact with the audience, so to speak. You couldn't hear the audience, or the audio might drop out if somebody else were to laugh, because you could hear the other people were comedians. The audience could see the show, but you couldn't hear the audience. You'd only could hear other comedians. At least one of the shows were like that.
Wait, hold on. I just want to. So they have a mic. Each audience member has their own mic, and you could hear.
They could watch you on their phone. They can mute the mic if they want. They can turn up the camera so you don't have to see them. But yeah, you can actually see the audience. And technically, there's no limit to how many audience members can actually attend the show.
It's very much like a group teleconference without sound canceling. So
I get what you're saying, but when I listen, because I can find something really, really funny. I watched Sarah's special twice the other night, and I thought it was hysterical. But I laugh on the inside when I'm watching it on streaming. I don't, because it feels awkward just to be sitting there laughing at your computer.
But that's just it. But when you're streaming with Plausible, there's other people in the room, so you can hear everybody laughing. So there's if you have 100 people in the room, or 30 people in the room, you hear them and laughing.
And that's why it's intriguing to me, because with Zoom, when they laugh, it cuts you off.
Right.
Or it tries to bump them up on the screen and make them whatever,
Right.
And with this, it keeps you front and center, the big screen. They can't take over. And it's very much like having a live audience because they're all mic'd, just like if they were sitting there in person. So you have that reaction in real time instead of it cutting off or people, it's assuming everybody doesn't mute their mics.
The bad part, and I'm not saying this because this is prevalent in a live show as well. If you've ever done a show at a bar and you're telling a joke and all of a sudden the blender goes off because they're making a drink, that happens. It's fucking annoying. Now you get that also people at home and they forget their mic and they're so like, "Hey, honey, can you bring me a beer?" You get that.
Honey, come watch this black dude. He's really funny.
Yesterday, I was battling motorcycles because Sunday afternoon, like an autumn day, and every biker on Long Island was coming out. And I'm up by the front door of the club, and they got the door open. Like every song, I had a motorcycle sound effect just start.
Well,
you should have did leader of the pack,
or some ZZ Top or something.
Yeah, why didn't you do leader of the pack?
Believe me, I was looking for. I would have thought of that one. I would have played it. It was like I said. I did get your motor running.
Yeah.
But you know what? Even what you're saying, and I get it. And listen, I want people to support plausible, even though Leanne's not a friend of mine. Like I don't sleep with her like GD does. But
her husband is there. Her husband is in the room, so it's okay.
That's fine. That's fine. It generally is when you invite a black guy over to fuck your wife.
Okay, Leanne, this is not me saying this. You realize that's Matt, right? Okay. Yeah, she's a smart woman. She sees that your lips moving.
Remember the views and opinions expressed on this show.
I apologize for backsliding into my true self there. But I do think no matter what, I don't think it's hearing other people. I would not laugh in the first. It's very hard to get me to laugh out loud watching something on television or on a computer screen. And if it happens, it doesn't happen to the extent that it would in a comedy club. In a comedy club, there's a comedian on stage. I'm laughing hard pretty much the entire time. And there can be a really great special that I enjoy. Like Sarah's was fucking killer. It's one of the best specials I've seen in a couple of years. It really is. It goes places that other people don't. I enjoyed it thoroughly, but I don't think I laughed out loud once, even though I was laughing inside a lot. And I understand that you hear other people, it makes you more comfortable. But who's going to be the first one to get off the fucking off planet no laugh and come down to planet laugh?
Well, the other, like I said, so it's a learning experience for me. So I am still learning about this. But the technology, I love the technology. I love her vision. I love what she's doing, where she's trying to go with it. And I'm just trying to take it to the next level. And as far as other people laughing out loud, since I have like a live audience in my room, what we are calling the Soji D. Fenderson, Soji D. Funny Comedy Bunker, which is my basement. The Soji D. Funny Comedy Bunker, there's going to be like 6 to 10 people there, depending on seating arrangements.
Yeah, bunker is not a good imagery for me.
I don't. Yeah, well, it's we're working. Like I said, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, call it comedy show.
Comedy hole.
There's too many comedy sellers out there. There's like comedy sellers all over the place. And I don't want to go comedy hole because that's going to be another streaming thing altogether. And I already have that. That's going, never mind.
Yeah.
Comedy Dungeon?
Because the people, because there's a live audience that you actually be able to hear somewhat, because I have two, thanks to Ron, I have two of those Bluetooth mics. One for myself and one for, ambient crowd things, so that you hear the audience as well.
Right. No, I wish you good luck. I appreciate that you are explaining how it's different for people. I wish you good luck with it. I wish Leanne good luck with it. I don't mean to be a skeptic on it all. I'm just trying to. I think it would be far more impressive if you did it in an actual comedy club rather than a house.
And that is the goal. That's the goal, and that's what I'm working toward. But I don't want to bring it to a club and then it sounds like shit and nobody wants to do it again.
I
That's
have
why I was
offered
asking about
Max Napstein to do these pitches for you. Later in the week, we have a guy, Mitch Carson is his name, and he's his business has been pitching television shows, pitching artists stuff, and he's a good guy. When is that show? I think it might be tomorrow, or is it Wednesday? Hold on, it's Wednesday. This will be a good show to bring this kind of stuff up, but I would be happy to kind of prepare this so that it's not you making this pitch. It's not the comedian, it's not the performer, it's the agent, the manager, wow, that sets the bar of expectation of how a negotiation go in a whole different way for a venue owner, club owner, whatever. They understand that now, or at least they are put on equal terms rather than you're a performer. I know you're a performer. I know you will do anything to be on you for stage time.
And they don't know. Then they don't know me because I've walked away from shit because
they
assume
performers will suck ass,
right?
But that's the assumption they come to the negotiation with. So it becomes really hard to pitch the idea in a way that they're receptive to it because they come into it with an unequal footing. I am on the top of the hill. You're on the bottom of the hill. You want me to do something for you. But listen, I look down upon you. I frown upon you. I think you are peasant and I am king. You come to me in a humble setting. That's whether we really want to feel that and acknowledge it for what it is. But having managed clubs, I've been in that position where everybody who comes to you is just.
Believe me, I hear and accept everything you're saying. Yeah. It's like
so use Max Napstein, but also on Wednesday, let's talk to Mitch Carson about this because this is what he does.
Okay, but like I said, the thing I'm trying to get together right now is the actual technology. So I can set this up, have the show the show that I want to produce. I don't have a problem with the producing live shows the way I want them to look. So for the most part. Most places I'm still limited by my budget or their room or whatever, and I've never been able to produce the actual comedy show that I have in my head. But
to be fair, to do it really right, you need more than you can't be working the light board and the soundboard if you are. Yeah. You need somebody. You need a team. It takes a I'm going to be hilarious.
And I've been screwed over by so many times, even when I've invested in paying people to be sound and because I need a stage manager. I actually need a stage manager for some of my shows because there's some parts that I can't pay attention to. And I don't want to pay attention to because I want to focus on the actual material. And I've had stage managers I'm paid and I've rehearsed with them. And then the night of the show, they don't show up. So I've been burned so many times that I'm like, it's fucking. I'm getting flustered just thinking about it because I want to put on the shows I want to put on, and I want to be able to rely on people who are going to show up and not think of G.D. Fenderson, he's just a no name or G.D. Fenderson, nobody likes him because they think they think Barry Katz doesn't like him, so nobody else is gonna like him. Whatever that shit is, doesn't matter. I'm tired of that level of disrespect. I get a little frustrated by it, but it doesn't stop me from still want to put on a good show.
One of my biggest bugaboos with comedy clubs is they have an audio guy who thinks his job is to turn on the microphone and go to sleep, not pay attention. And very few of them have an active sound man there. They have a sound guy whose total responsibility is to show up before the show starts, make sure stuff is working, and at the end of the night, turn it off and put the microphone away and that kind of stuff. That's not a sound man. A sound man's job is to actively do things in the moment and be energetically involved in the show, not to tune out I've seen this comedian 1,000 times. Fucking bugs the hell out of me when that happens. It's just come on.
I did a show at a college, and again, I did a show at a college, and I was in the sound room with the sound person. They're telling me everything that's going on. Where the music, we have music playing for the audience, so that while they're sitting, and then once the show starts, they're going to kill that music, and then the audience will be, the audience was mic'd and so forth. And I had all these sound cards, not sound cards, USB cards, for each of their cameras and their sound boards. I had like the sound separate and everything. And once the show started, the sound people were in the audience. Okay. But the show has already started. So, but it took me a while to realize that the sound people were actually in the audience. And so we do the show and then do the show the next night. And I didn't have time to listen to the audio. I just looked at some of the camera stuff. I didn't listen to the audio. Shows are over. Now I'm home. I'm ready to edit. And I put in the audio from the audience. They didn't turn the music off. They panned it to the audience track. And so the music for the show was on a loop. And it was on a loop over top of the audience laughter. I couldn't use the audience.
No.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah. But I spent the money, invested the money for the show. So I still put together the show. I didn't have it so I could sell it, which is why it's free on YouTube. I wanted to make it so that I could actually sell it and produce this great show, and I couldn't. And that's before my computer crashed and damaged most of my good video.
Right.
The sector.
So just I'll reiterate on Wednesday. Oh no, what the hell? I got things kind of. Mitch Carson is on Wednesday, but on Tuesday I thought Luana was on the same show with Mitch, so she'll be here tomorrow. Luana Ribeira, she's the head of Dauntless PR. Dauntless PR is what it sounds like. It's not a Puerto Rican. It's not like a Puerto Rican who.
I got excited for a second.
Is public relations for artists is what she does. She is an actor and a public speaker who started PR for herself, but now she's doing it for artists. And they should probably be on the same show, because both of those things are things that we really need. Every person I've met in show business, again, at my level, occupying the upper level of the sewer, where we can almost smell the fresh air out of the sewer. That's the level I'm in. Everybody needs help with PR, public relations, and understanding the pitch practice that Mitch is going to be talking about. How do you actually pitch this stuff to decision makers? So both of those shows are worthwhile, even though we are light on comedians this week. I think if you're in the arts, you want to check out Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Friday we have Leanne Linsky. Thursday, I'm conflicted about how to handle it. Thursday, I have an author on, Ann Charles, who has been on my nighttime program, but clearly doesn't remember. She introduced me as my publicist told me about your podcast and said I should get on. And so she doesn't remember that she was on my show, and I'm hurt.
You went up like 4 octaves. You are hurt. My goodness.
I am hurt. I'm hurt. I'm hurt. No, I'm hurt, but I'm also like, how could you not remember? Because she's wearing a cowboy hat in a promo picture, and I made a big deal of how chicks in cowboy hats do it for me. I don't know. Which is why I like at Daisy's. Daisy's, when I play there, we have all these young, hard body, fucking young 23-year-olds, 24-year-olds in cowboy hats and boots and shorts and all this stuff. And it's like,
man, just so you know, I hate to burst your bubble, but the reason why they're wearing cowboy hats is because they're covering bald spots, and they're wearing the cowboy boots because they don't shave their legs. The cowboy boots, they don't shave their legs. They don't want you to see.
That is funny. I can understand the laughter, and I understand that that's funny, but it's wrong. It's just wrong. It's not accurate. See, most comedy needs to have an element of truth in it. That has no element of truth.
Oh yeah, it does.
I don't know, man. I've seen some things, man.
No, you haven't seen these girls. These girls are.
Well, yeah, you have a bunch of fake cow folk up there, so that's different. Yeah, they're probably a little more put together, maybe.
I don't think anybody in that place, and this is the problem I have with the place. I don't think any of the patrons are actually country music fans. I think
probably not.
See, that's why they're wearing the cowboy hats.
No. Only one guy. Only one of the. I'm talking about the patrons, not the girls who work there now. I'm talking. When I was talking about the girls, and those are working. They are
I thought they were
waitresses and maitre d's and that kind of stuff.
I stand corrected.
Only one patron wears a cowboy hat. This old man, and he does know country music. And his biggest complaint is that I'm the only guy who wears a cowboy hat when on stage there. But I don't think the customers there are really country music fans. I don't. And
probably not. Those kind of things attract them, man. In South Bend, this club called Mulligan's. It's an Irish bar on the Notre Dame campus. They do a country night and fucking cowboy hats and boots as far as the eye can see, and it's just a bunch of city kids.
Well, nobody knows
country.
None of the patrons are wearing cowboy hats. Just this one old dude. This is the thing. I think these guys come there for whatever they're looking for, young pussy.
That and they come for the line dancing. Because when you go to a country bar, you don't have to know how to dance as an individual. You know how you learn the line dance so that everybody dances together.
Right, yeah.
When you go to a black club, everybody has to have their own move. As a matter of fact, it's a prerequisite. You can't even get into the door until you show the bouncer your move. They're like, not that one, because that's taken. Yeah, that.
I show them I can do the stanky leg, and they let me in.
That's it. Yep. Yeah, when you go to a black club, you got to have your moves down.
Up where Laughing Stock is in Grantville, the bar, they do line dancing like every Friday or Saturday night there.
Yeah.
See, in my day, line dancing was something very different.
All right. I feel like I can dance now.
Yeah.
I feel the beat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what. I think it was something where people just thought, I don't know how to dance, so let me get together with other people who don't know how to dance, and we'll just make the same box step over and over again. Somebody went to a primary dancing lesson. Always, are you here for the melon people? Is that
what is happening?
Yeah, well, the melon people have left. I don't know who's going to get to the bottom of this mystery. Yeah, exactly. I don't. There's no melon people. The melon people discussion is over. I'm sorry you missed the program on melon people.
Well, I do have plenty of showbiz stuff since we haven't done it for days.
Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah, I guess so.
I could do that. Let's do that. That would be amusing to me. I will just press this button. Watch me press this button.
And now, bringing you the latest in entertainment news from Hollywood, New York, and East Bumfuck, Montana. Here's our chief entertainment correspondent, Ron Kane. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showbiz.
Showbiz, everybody.
Is it showbiz?
It's Monday.
We have babies and planes and buildings.
Yeah, this is in reference to that. That's in reference to that guy that came on to celebrate 9/11 last week or something.
Right.
Oh.
Did he drop a baby out of a plane?
No, he's talking about babies being born and 9/11. So
I forgot about the baby. The baby. Maybe
so this
Jesus.
The first slide here is from the Ronald Reagan movie. Apparently it's still out in theaters. I would have thought most people would have forgotten about it by now, but they still haven't. And Dennis Quaid is saying that this is not a political movie. So I don't know if it's like tasteful nudes of Reagan, but I haven't seen it.
Well, it talks about his life with Bonzo.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Now, Quaid is a Trumper, and he is also a Reagan guy. I don't. Ronald Reagan. I know a lot of Democrats and a lot of people on the left hate Reagan. Reagan was a completely different political animal than Donald Trump is. And Dennis Quaid actually in an interview said he believes that Donald Trump's principles and morals and ethics, which he has none of, are in line with Ronald Reagan's. And it's like, dude, if that thought can actually live between your ears, you know nothing. You have not experienced, because Reagan, he was, according to the leftists at the time, Reagan was Satan. According to today's world, in what where the conservative movement has gone, Reagan is actually a moderate, or somewhat even like Dick Cheney is a radical leftist now. Right? Reagan would be a centrist in today's world.
It depends on the Reagan you're talking about, because there is the public Reagan and there is the policy Reagan. Like Reagan did believe in the unitary executive theory, that he believed in that. He just didn't want to do it the way Trump did it. He was trying to do it in a more covert manner. He was trying to boil the frog, so that a lot of things that he wanted to do so slowly and so cleverly that people didn't realize they were being fucked. Okay, and I think his Alzheimer's got in the way of him doing that.
Well, yeah, you have to go Alzheimer's and pre-hold. When he first started running, he was not that. But above all, the big differential here, when Reagan went to meet with Gorbachev, and people were saying, you gotta fucking rip this guy a new asshole. Reagan said, no. We have to be nice and respectful, not in like let them steamroll you, but understand that when you're doing these things, you have to be, in order to get people to meet you where you want them to meet you, you have to be respectful to them. Trump would never espouse any of that stuff. Trump comes from a world where the only tactic is putting people down and being just a bully. And
you have to separate the tactic from the policy. I think policy-wise, the two of them were very, very close. It's the tactics where they separate. And I think part of that was that Ronald Reagan, having been part of SAG, he was like was he the president of SAG or something? He was like just student actors, Screen Actors Guild. Was he the president or something, or a spokesperson? But when you're in that position, you learn to compromise. You're not going to get everything you want to get. Trump was never in a position where you had to compromise.
Right.
So Reagan developed that tactic, but they had the same goal. I think they both wanted the same thing.
I don't think so. I think Reagan respected the three branches of government. I think he worked with a Congress that was not necessarily on his side and did get things done. He didn't want presidential immunity. He didn't want to tear up the Constitution and make the president king.
Well, no, but he felt like, just think of the Iran-Contra thing and what they did with crack cocaine, all of those things, that's under his watch, and he allowed it to happen.
From like AIDS and trickle down economics and shit. Yeah, I mean he wasn't a great president.
I'm not saying he was a great president. I'm saying in terms of what a president can and wanted to do, comparing him to Trump, or being on the same level, being a Trumper and a Reaganite do not mix. And we see this because they are coming out and saying, well, are you liberals now? You won't Dick Cheney. Understand, on the left, proposition enticed or did anything to get Cheney to endorse Harris. What happened is Donald Trump is so bad, he stinks of rot and corruption so bad that even Dick Cheney couldn't stand the smell. That's the difference. And I compare Cheney to Reagan in a lot of ways. I think Cheney was a corrupt guy who got us into wars for profit and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, even a guy that corrupt, Donald Trump would say, would look at Trump and say, "My God, this is like the worst sewer rat we've ever come up with. I reject that." And so I don't what I'm saying is I don't understand how people who were who loved Ronald Reagan could not appreciate what Ronald Reagan would think of Donald Trump and what he has done to the Republican Party. Reagan made the Republican Party a powerhouse. Donald Trump has made the Republican Party a supreme underdog in everything they do now. And that there is no question. I don't think anybody can argue that at this point. It's just the two people are completely different in how they dealt with people and how they dealt with the single thing. You would never see Reagan coming out and making fun of a disabled person, and then people try to justify that. Never.
That's true. Again, but that's tact, not politics. I think Reagan had the same disgust for the working class that Trump has. It's just that Reagan was just more clever at hiding it.
Oh, an actor.
Yeah, and guess what, everybody? Reagan's still dead. So let's move on. Yeah, the zombie Reagan's not coming back, and so
I think you're wrong about that. I think Dennis Quaid is the new Reagan, and we just
although if a Trump like dug up Reagan and like brought out his bones to sit next to him, that would be kind of cool.
He'd hump him. You know, he'd have to hump it right next to the flag.
I love him so much. I'm gonna skull fuck him.
All right.
So this is